is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of JR Takes. As always, Ryan and I are delivering the latest NFL and Seattle news, and unfortunately, we are not celebrating an ALCS berth this afternoon. We had it there, that being the Mariners, for the first half of the game, up until, I want to say, the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, I think it was the fifth.
We were up 3-0. Everything's going great. Bryce is dealing and gives up a couple hits. We go to the bullpen, and then Gabe Spire, who's been lights out all year, just didn't have it today, and he got knocked around, and we lose 9-3. So, I don't know. Lot to look forward to on Friday, but they had plenty of opportunities to win this game, and I hope we don't look back at this game after Game 5 in case we lose. I think that right there is probably the turning point of the series. That if we lose on Friday.
I want to say they left like 7 runners stranded or something like that, right?
Yeah. So it's just, look, it's the playoffs. The Tigers won, or they didn't win their division, but they were damn near winning most of the they had the best record in the American League for most of the season. So it's not supposed to be easy, but damn it, it would have been nice to just be done.
I know,
and not have to think about Friday.
That's kind of what we were predicting too. I mean, it just seemed like all the stars were aligning for just a 3-1 finish to this thing, but I just think this is a real gut check for the team, and the fact that we're going back to Seattle on Friday, I think bodes well for us. We are playing in Seattle on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they dominated in that park this season. It is a pitcher's park, as you said, too, which I think plays in our favor. They just gotta dig deep and find a way to get it done, I think.
Yeah, and they also have probably going to be facing Scooble again on Friday. So gotta beat them for the 4th time if we want to advance. So
yeah,
tall task ahead of them, but I think we ultimately get it done.
I hope it's not some like 13-inning stress fest dragging out this misery as long as possible.
It's going to be. Mark my words. It will be some sort of something that will happen late in the game that will just make us want to all have heart attacks. But that's the way it goes. And that's part of the fun of it, I think. Like, it wouldn't be interesting and exciting. It's so funny when people are always like, baseball's so boring. Like, baseball playoffs are like more exciting to me than football.
I think baseball is more excruciating than any sport.
Yeah.
Because the length in which you're sitting there stressed out is so much longer for the most part, because football is very up and down roller coaster fast. Baseball plays out in such a slower time span. There's way more games. There's series, not just individual games. 9 innings, not 4 quarters. Everything about the sport, it just inherently takes longer. So when we were sitting there up 3-0, I was like, man, let's just get this thing over with. I was sitting in that feeling for a while. And then once we, I think at the bottom of the 5th or 6th, the Tigers got 3 runs and it was knotted up. That's when I started getting that super anxious feeling. And then the rest of the game was just torture, profound torture.
I hate to say this, but when we let them tie it up, I kind of thought we were fucked because they had all the momentum and our bullpen was in. They almost blew the game yesterday. Well, not really, but they gave up a shitload of runs in the 9th inning without recording an out, and they had to bring in Andres Munoz. So yeah, I don't know if there's an Achilles heel to this team, it's probably the bullpen, and I don't know.
I think if they win, they got to get almost a complete game out of whoever's pitching on Friday.
Probably either George or Luis, one of the two. I personally would throw George because has the highest ceiling of all of our pitchers, and he's just going to be elite one day, in my opinion. So I think we need to throw him for Game 5. But a lot to look forward to. Super stressed out about it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's cool to just be here, but boy, would it have been nice to just be in the ALCS already, as you said.
Yeah, God, because now I have to just live life 48 more hours of uncertainty, and that sucks. But
it's not like this franchise makes it easy to be a fan at any point.
I know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had on the Mariners. Sucks we lost, but that's why it's a series. You got plenty of opportunities to get things right in Game 5, so I think they will.
Yeah. Well, carrying on with that sentiment to get into some Hawk talk here, a little bit of post-mortem on the Bucks game. Now that I've seen more like film breakdown and just statistical breakdown, this truly was a Game of the Year candidate. I think if the Seahawks hadn't ended it with that just dumb Darnold interception off a helmet, that was a very deflating ending, I think, for anyone watching it that wasn't a Bucks fan.
Yeah.
But it was just a fantastic game, and Baker Mayfield, that deep throw to Egbuka, I knew it was a long throw when you were watching it live. I didn't realize he threw that like 67 fucking yards on a dot.
Damn.
Like that, Baker Mayfield played one of the best quarterback games we've seen in a long time. It's not an exaggeration to say that. I really, it felt like all game the Buccaneers were doing what they wanted to do for the most part on offense, but I didn't really notice in game that downfield really opened up after Tariq Woolen went down, and I know he's been the subject of a lot of ire this season, and deservedly so. He's still the best cover guy out there that's not named Devin Witherspoon, for sure. And Witherspoon himself was out. Julian Love was out. If he was in, I don't think that deep ball to Egbuka probably happens. He shuts that down. It was kind of just the perfect storm for us to lose this game. But the thing that makes me really encouraged is the fact that Sam Darnold proved that he can make just elite throw after elite throw and score 5 straight touchdowns just to keep us in this game. That proved a lot to me.
I also think it's time to start looking at Sam Darnold as a player that makes players around him better.
I agree.
Because all year I had to fucking deal with people that, because I was a Sam Darnold, he's good candidate. And everyone was like, oh, it's because he has Justin Jefferson. It's like, no, it isn't. He's a good player. Like, just because Justin Jefferson can do things not very many other receivers can do, doesn't discredit the things he's doing to get Justin Jefferson the ball. And he's doing the same thing with JSN.
Yeah.
He's making JSN an elite receiver compared to how his rapport was with Geno.
Yeah, I mean, JSN is like having a better season than Justin Jefferson this year.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on Geno. Well, we'll talk about that later. but yeah, I'm just like tired of all the people that, entering the year, Sam Darnold's a pumpkin, this and that. Like, we're not sure what the Seahawks are going to be because they've regressed, because we have a worse line than the Vikings. It's like,
the Vikings line is shit this year still, even after all those free agent signings they made. It's not performing very well. And I think one of the biggest criticisms people had of Darnold out of what happened to the end of the Vikings seasons last year was that he kind of crumbles under a lot of like pass rush pressure. All of the best plays I've seen out of him this year, for the most part. Think of the 4th and 2 play to Horton. Protection completely broke down, and he's got to scramble and make a play and evade pressure when it's right in his face. He's been amazing at that this season. And I'll be honest, I didn't know that was in his bag. I didn't know he was that kind of athlete, but this guy can move. This guy can make off-script plays like anyone, and when he's moving to his left, he can make elite throws.
Don't you remember that 50-yard touchdown run he had when he played for the Jets?
No.
Colby, you should pull that up. Just type in Sam Darnold touchdown run Jets, because it was an athletic play. And he was moving. And I think it might have been his rookie year or his second year, but
well, it's not like he's old.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so long since he was on the Jets. It's the only thing I remember about his Jets career, and I don't think I'm alone in this. Is I was seeing ghosts thing.
46-yard
Yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah, that
sounds
one.
like it. But yeah, this guy is I have to give you credit because you were kind of on the Sam Darnold hype train right from the signing, and I was skeptical. But
there it is. Wow.
yeah, I feel like he still moves that fast too. That's impressive.
Damn.
I don't remember that at all.
Is fucking nuts.
I think that was actually after his rookie year too, because the end zone said it takes all of us, so that has to be at least 2020 or more recent. Yeah, Darnold is number 1 in EPA per play right now, and I believe number 1 in Pro Football Focus's quarterback evaluation. So he's literally, according to like advanced analytics, the best quarterback right now. Like he's charted in the upper right column from advanced metrics that usually you see guys like Mahomes and company in.
Part of the reason why I was and still am so high on Sam is because, again, with the whole 14 wins last season thing. Like, they played in such a difficult division, and it's not easy to win 10 games in the end. Ask Spencer Rattler. Is that his name?
He's NFC South, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, ask him how hard it is to win a game. He just won his first game in the NFL last week. So,
and it wasn't for lack of trying, too. Like, it's fucking hard to win in the NFL. Look at us this week. We played phenomenal, one of the best offensive games I've seen us play since, like, Gino's game against the Lions in 2022, probably. And we still lost. So it's fucking hard to win in this league. And I just think everyone kind of rhetorically ran with it's because of Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson, yada, yada, yada. Like, okay, what have those players done collectively with their other quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and such? They didn't win 14 games. So I think there's enough evidence to say now, like, Darnold found something, possibly in Carolina, possibly in that year in San Francisco, and he has not looked back since.
Yeah, it's great to see. I guess moving forward, we'll dive into the Seahawks-Jags game this weekend.
The Jaguars.
Yeah, so I wrote down a couple things about them, but we were talking about this before the podcast started. I wanted to see who the Jags had lost to because they're 4-1 right now. They're playing pretty good, and they just beat the Chiefs, and before that they beat the Niners. So and that was when Brock Purdy was starting.
Granted, I think it was a pretty hobbled Brock Purdy in that game because immediately he played that whole game and then hasn't played since.
Sure, but look at last Thursday.
I know the Niners are a tough out this year, no matter who's playing quarterback.
Yeah, so and then of course the Bengals lost week 1. When Colby looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, duh. They lost to Joe Burrow and the Bengals before Joe Burrow died.
I think they lost to Jake Browning, actually. That was only a couple weeks ago. It was the game where Jake Browning had to do the sneak over the goal line to win the game.
Was it week 2 then?
It was week 2 or 3, yeah. It was a couple weeks ago. It was the only good game Jake Browning has played because now he's been replaced by fucking Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
so there you go. But the point remains, like, this Jaguars team is good. They have a couple quality wins, beat the Panthers. I mean, that's whatever, but they just beat the Chiefs in prime time. You know, this is the team of the 2020s. This is the team that has been in every AFC championship since 2018 and been in like half the Super Bowls, if not more, since then. And they delivered a statement win in prime time at home on a Monday night. But in my opinion, I think that all leads to their downfall this weekend versus us because you have a talented young Jaguars team, very young team, coming off this big emotional win on a short week. I think this is a good time to play them. I would rather they had beaten the Chiefs than lost to them. I just think because I think that kind of intangible aspect of when you play a team really does show up. I hate playing a team when they come off of like a really frustrating loss. I hate
or a blowout loss.
Yeah, something like that because they always show up motivated the next week. They also just lost. The name is blanking me right now, but their top tight end is going to miss this next game. He actually leads their team in targets, receptions, and I believe...
Is it Brenton Strange?
Yeah, Strange, yeah. He strange guy to be leading the room there, but he is out for this game, which I think is going to matter The one thing that gives me pause about this game is overall the Jaguars are healthier than us right now, and that was a huge factor in our last game.
Little funny story about Brenton Strange. I think last season Henry was over for week 1, and someone scored a touchdown, and I was like, "Oh, who scored, Henry?" And he was like, "Brenton Strange."
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I could just like see him saying that. This hat on.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I kind of agree with everything you just said there. Them beating the Chiefs, I think, is gonna maybe put them on cloud 9 a little too long, and they are gonna come back down to earth very quickly when playing us. And I like the idea of us playing them when we play them, and we played them down in Jacksonville, don't we?
Yeah, 10 a.m. start, which back in the day that was a nightmare, but I feel like even before Mike McDonald, for years we've been great at the 10 a.m. kickoffs. I don't remember the last time we lost one, to be honest, but he's, I think, 10-1 on the road or 9-1 on the road.
Have we ever won in Jacksonville? Colby, have the Seahawks won in Jacksonville?
Take a look.
Let's see.
I don't think they have in my lifetime.
Because 2017, I think
They
that's-
lost because
Yeah.
they had that like blow up thing at the end with Michael Bennett and a bunch of those guys.
So what happened in 2005?
we lost. We started off the season 0-1.
Okay, then yeah, I don't. At least as far as we've been watching, I don't think we've won in
So
Jacksonville.
it says they beat the Jaguars on October 31st, 2021.
Yeah, that was at home,
In Jacksonville.
and that was the first good game Geno Smith played for us. Because I remember he like cooked that terrible Urban Meyer led Jaguars team.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah, and
that.
Trevor Lawrence was like atrocious. It was a joke of a game.
I remember. I barely remember.
Okay, it says away victories in 1995 and then in 2000.
Yeah,
So
we weren't.
haven't-
Okay, well, I didn't watch football during either of those years. Might not have even been alive for the first, February. Yeah, I was probably. Doesn't
We
matter.
were in diapers,
I wasn't
yeah.
watching. That's the point. But overall prediction score, depending on before I give my prediction, who's not playing? Have we? figured
Nothing's
that out?
definitive yet. Mike McDonald said they're gonna make their calls probably on Friday. So
I
just like
feel
the Mariners,
that's all going to depend on who plays, whether or not this is going to be a high or low scoring game. Because we could see just a recontinue of this past game against Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Although the Jags,
They got a good defense.
they got a good they can stop the run. I believe they're 11th in rush yards allowed. So
I think we got to let Darnold air it out a bit in this one, and I think we need to throw to set up the run in this game. Believe it or not. Because we had a good game on the ground on the stat sheet last week, but I don't think our line is at the point where they're like physically imposing in the run game.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is the week where that's going to start. But that doesn't mean you give up on it immediately. I think if Witherspoon, Woolen, Love, and DeMarcus Lawrence are out, we're just going to need to put the ball in Sam Darnold's hands and say, win us this game.
yeah, and the Jags are 27th in pass yards allowed. So I mean, I like the idea of pass to set up the run because attack something they're weak at to begin with.
Yeah, it's what the Buccaneers did to us. They really didn't try to run the ball that much on us in that game. I think they had like 50 rushing yards. Not that they like couldn't do it, but they saw the weakness in our secondary and were like spamming it.
They also didn't have Bucky Irving.
Yeah, but I think Rashad White is a good back. Like,
Yeah.
I think if they wanted to run the ball, like they wouldn't have avoided it just because of Bucky not being there.
Yeah.
I think Bucky being out was a non-factor in that result, by the way. So if we're getting into an injury argument with Bucs fans, like losing your whole secondary is way more important than running back. But yeah, my prediction, I I think we're going to win by 10 points. And I know that maybe I seem bold, maybe I'm way off, but I feel a 27-17 kind of win because last week is the only week we haven't logged an interception, and I think we're going to get back to creating turnovers this week. I think McDonald's going to scheme up some more exotic blitzes to try to mitigate the fact that our edge group is so depleted right now, and I think there's going to be a turnover or two. Perhaps 2 Trevor Lawrence interceptions, and that's going to turn the tide in this game.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a 2-score game just because it's really hard to win by 2 scores in the NFL. And I just think the Jags are playing really good lately. I think it'll be closer. I think it'll probably be more like a decided by a field goal or 4 points. Like 28-24, something around there. That's going to be my guess.
Yeah, that's how I was first looking at it, but I just feel like the Jags are due for a letdown game is part of my thinking. Just you watch enough NFL seasons, you know the letdown games come.
Yeah. Look at the Bills.
It's a out of conference game. The Jaguars don't need this win in the way that we do. So I just feel like those kind of intangible things are going to play into it.
Yeah, that's all fair. Cool. Well, do you want to move on to good, mid, ugly?
Let's do it. It's going to be a fun one this week, I think.
Yeah, so I'll let you go first.
So for my good, sticking with talking about the Jaguars because I have them beating the Chiefs on the most hilarious game-winning touchdown of all time, potentially.
I actually didn't see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what happened?
Have you not seen?
Nope.
Oh, so Trevor Lawrence takes the snap.
Oh, actually, yes, I did see that.
Immediately falls down, and then falls down again when he tries to get up, and somehow has enough time to get up and go run for the game-winning score. Like I was in disbelief watching it because I think there was about like 20 seconds left or so when this happened. So it was crunch time for the Jaguars, and the fact that he had that much time to move after he was on the ground for 3 seconds is crazy. But I'm just so sick of the Chiefs, man. Like, I want them to just keep losing and losing and losing. They're playing the Lions this week. They're gonna lose. I just hate them, and I want them to go away. So they get the good this week because they did the best thing they could have done for everyone.
Nice.
Right, a little replay here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
I don't even know if he actually got stepped on. He might have just tripped.
This video sucks. Oh, there it is. That's crazy.
Okay, also watch Chris Jones on this play. He's standing alone right now on the green line. Okay. Watch it. What is he doing? What is he doing? He put no effort into doing anything on that play.
Video, I think, is just keeps reversing. This is just the video.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, that's good for the Jags, and pretty bad for the Chiefs and Chris Jones. That was not what you want to see if you're a fan. My good this week, I got McCorkle, Jones, and the 49ers.
Ew, really?
Yeah, dude, he deserves it. He was fucking getting so fucked up in that game. And
I didn't see. I was still in France for the game, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's more of an indictment on the Rams. I still think the Rams are good, but the Niners winning with like fucking grocery workers out there. Who the fuck are they starting with all those injured receivers?
I know.
It's crazy that
I thought they were gonna get blown out.
And the fact that Mac Jones is has fucking 3-4 wins now, and
he's 3-0, I think.
Yeah, and it's October. That's crazy. So I didn't want to give it to the Niners, let alone Mac Jones, but I had to. He's a big reason why the Niners are 4-1 and leading the division. So.
Yeah, once again, he's proving Dan Orlovsky right from a couple of years ago, and it's pretty hilarious to see.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had on those guys. The Niners. My mid this week, it's the Vikings. The Vikings, and this is why. Even though they won, they beat the Browns. Their quarterback currently is Carson Wentz. like, you guys are mid again because you had Sam Darnold, who won you 14 games and could have given you guys a good chance to win the division this year. But instead, you go with a college player that we didn't know anything about. He's not good, and now you're stuck with Carson Wentz. So you're mid.
Yeah,
And
it's not like Wentz is playing well either. He's like maybe the
they won the
26th best quarterback right now.
They won the game, but it took like a final last scoring touchdown with like 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and that's
against
starting
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. Starting a left-handed hobbit at quarterback, making his first career start. Like, yeah, I think they deservedly get the mid spot for sure.
Yeah.
My mid this week, I have the Los Angeles Chargers, because they're just the most frustrating franchise to me, because every time it seems like they're gonna get out of being mid, like literally mediocre, they do something like this. You're up 10-0 versus the Commanders. You're kind of dominating them, and then Justin Herbert's throwing terrible interceptions. People are dropping passes. It's just like a mess. And they have so much talent in that receiver room. Quentin Johnston looks like a guy out of nowhere. And I think they only put up 10 or 17 points or something like that. It might have only been 10 points. Like, after all the early season hype they had starting off the year beating the Chiefs, they have lost all that goodwill. And now I think they're just going to be another 9-8 kind of team. I don't know. They look like they're heading in the wrong direction fast. So they get the mid this week.
That's all fair.
And then I kind of hope You're Ugly is a certain team in our division blowing it, but we'll talk about that later if not. But for me, we have to talk about them at least once a year in the ugly category, because they can't stop themselves. The entire Jets franchise gets the ugly for me this week. You guys are the worst team in the league right now. You would literally be picking number 1 overall. You just had that really good draft in 2022 where you took 2 Rookie of the Year awards away from our players for your stupid players. And what has that done for you? You are still shit. You are the worst, actually. I know Justin Fields has been garbage time king this year, but beyond that, when the game actually matters, he's been pathetic, just like he's always been. And it's just like, I'm almost getting sick of it, because I don't have any personal vendetta against the Jets, but they just suck and suck and suck. And on top of that, their only good quarterback of the last 15 years just did some psychotic shit this weekend. So that's just another, feather in the cap of just ass. Yeah. So they get the ugly.
Your ugly this week just should have been Mark Sanders. That would be so fun.
He's like the cherry on top of the cake.
Of the Jets shit cake. They're like, all right, Mark Sanchez arrested on Saturday for beating up a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
Dying.
Yeah, he sounds like he's going to go to prison, which is crazy because he was just calling a game, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
He was supposed to, I think, the day after that was supposed to be on Fox Sports, doing something.
Yeah, he's probably out of a job as we speak.
He's going to have a huge civil lawsuit.
I know people personally that have lost their job for way less, so.
That 70-year-old, thank God he seems stable, people have interviewed him, but dude, he's set for his family's probably set for life.
Yeah.
There goes.
I would be stoked if I was him.
There goes Mark's
cool,
rookie
I'm
contract.
You for all of your money, Mark. All right, so you are correct. My ugly this week is the Arizona Cardinals. I did have an honorable mention though. Yeah. Geno and the Raiders. Geno has the most interceptions in football. I believe it's 9.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is what you were going for with the ugly. Okay.
Yes.
This was unbelievable. I think.
Keeps happening.
I think in the regular season, this is the worst loss I've ever seen.
This is unbelievable because this just happened to the Colts last week. How are coaches not if you allow this to happen, you're getting cut from the roster.
I don't know how that wasn't a thing after Deshaun Jackson like 15 years ago or longer, because that was the first high-profile
Dude,
time this
it
happened.
happens multiple times every year. Jonathan
crazy.
Taylor did it last year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's like getting more common despite how ludicrous it is.
Yeah, Adon I. Mitchell did it last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
And it's the most frustrating thing, especially as like a fantasy owner of the player that does it. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, I remember DK kind of did it in 2020. Like, he just allowed himself to get caught at the 1 yard line, but he like started jogging. So same principle, I feel like.
Yeah, but apparently Jonathan Gannon, coached the Bird Gang, got fined $100K. Kind of stupid. I watched the replay of what he did. He gets into Demercado's face, as a coach does when you fuck up. You get an earful from your coach, and then when he walks away, he just hits him on the chest.
Yeah, how many times do you think like Mike Ditka would have been fined if rules were the way they are now?
Ryan. So
Yeah, I saw this interaction. I mean, it like
That's like the equivalent of smacking someone on the ass.
Yeah,
Being like,
also-
get your head in the game.
Amari DeMarcado is a running back. He gets hit harder than that every play he's on the field. Like,
Yeah.
he's fine.
And
He's gonna be fine.
dude, if my running back did that, if a Seahawks player did that, I'd be like, dude, you need to like cut him from the team. Like, don't just tap him on the
Yeah.
chest. Get rid of him right now.
Not
So-
that I'm even trying to defend Jonathan Gannon, because he spearheaded the worst loss of all time. He's liable for what these guys do out there. So
Yeah, no, it's the touchdown to Tyler Lockett in the end zone was insane.
that's one of the funniest. That is somehow funnier than the Trevor Lawrence touchdown. I guess the only difference is one was a game winner, but you also, to wrap it all up, you let Cam Ward like cook you in the fourth quarter after making him look really bad the rest of the game. And I don't know, the Titans might have something to believe in a little bit now, because they've looked horrible. They've looked like the worst team in football up until the fourth quarter of that Cardinals game.
I gotta say too, ever since I said that the Cardinals were frauds, they haven't won a game. So
I was never worried. Until I'm shown otherwise, I'm never going to worry about them as long as Kyler Murray is their quarterback, because I just don't think he's good. Like,
I think his height makes it so he can't play consistently. And that's why we're always like, he's Mr. Inconsistent, because he'll be amazing one week and then be terrible the next. I think it's just because he can't see.
I think Wilson.
you think that applies with Bryce Young?
I
Yeah.
think it's a definite factor.
Because he's doing the same thing. He's like, he'll be amazing one week and then complete dog shit the next week.
I think these little guys are making Russell Wilson's Hall of Fame case way better, because he's the only short quarterback in the last since what's his name on the Vikings. He's like an all-time great. Didn't win a Super-
Randall Cunningham?
No, not Randall Cunningham.
Fran Tarkenton?
Fran Tarkenton. So he's the only short guy since Fran to have consistent excellence for like a decade. These guys are barely staying in the league.
Wait. What about Seneca Wallace?
He was a backup. But yeah, anyways, I gotta love it though, because they're in our division and we want them to lose. But that was unbelievable. They deserve to be in someone's ugly out there in the universe this week. But
Yeah.
to touch back on your honorable mention, how do we keep getting away with it, man? We have quarterbacks play so well for us for years, and then the second they go to another team, they're like the worst quarterback.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because Gino and Pete already teamed up and they
I
had
know.
success. So
Nothing about it makes sense, honestly.
and nothing about what they're doing currently like was what they did in Seattle. It's like is Chip Kelly that bad? I mean,
He could be. I forgot he's their coordinator.
I
But
think he is.
Also, the interceptions Gino is throwing, he wasn't doing that for us. He threw a like hitch route with 3 guys covering the hitch on Sunday. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? He never did shit like that for us. He would have, just mistakes here and there, overthrows, getting picked, stuff like that. But like never just a flat out like rookie quarterback level bad read. That was
I kind of think it's like an arrogance thing.
it could be.
Like I think Gino has a bit of an ego, and
Absolutely.
I think he believes he can make those throws and can't, and then that's your result.
Yeah, I feel like because he always kind of played with that, but it just kept working for us for a few years for the most part. So might just be. It kind of looks like it might be the end of the line for Gino, but we'll see. It is still a
He
young
had a good
season.
run.
Yeah, and always be thankful.
Yeah.
Fucking paid.
Yeah, dude's like $100 millionaire now. Like he's had a fantastic 2020s, and not a lot of people can say that. So
Yeah.
good for Gino, but like it might be done. It might be toast.
Yeah. That being said, moving on to power rankings this week.
Let's do it.
Mine's kind of, since we didn't have an episode last week, I couldn't even remember what my power rankings were the previous go around. But I do still have the Eagles in my 1. I know they lost, but I don't know. They were winning most of that game, and it's going to take more than one loss for me to dethrone the champs.
That's fair. I just wanted to punish them, kind of, because they got the lucky walk-off blocked field goal win. I know the NFL is seemingly wide open this year. I don't look at any team in this league right now and think, oh, they're the for sure champion. And that mentality is part of why you see the Seahawks in the top 10 this week, even though we just lost.
It's cool. You put them both in the same spot.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we have a number of teams in the same spot this week. But I have the Lions taking the top spot just because in the last few weeks they've looked like the best team. But, I mean, the Packers looked like the best team for a little bit. I thought the Rams looked great for a little bit. The Ravens looked awesome. Now they're in the bottom 10.
Yeah, the Ravens with Cooper Rush
They're
terrible.
They're so cooked. Well, and like regardless of whether Jackson comes back or not, the Ravens defense is awful. Like maybe the worst in the league. I think the biggest riser for me this week is the Colts. It doesn't seem fluky to me anymore. I think they're just a good team. I think any thoughts to the contrary is just your bias kind of playing into it, but they look like they're going to be one of the hardest games on our schedule the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I have the Colts, I think, at 5. I actually took the Packers completely out of my top 10.
Oh.
They just have looked not good. I know they just had a bye week, but they tied with the Cowboys. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah, the 40-40 game.
Yeah.
What a fucking weird game.
And then the week before that, even more embarrassing. They lose to the fucking Joe Flacco. So
yeah, that's right.
And they're playing Joe Flacco this week. So they could lose to him twice.
It'd be so funny if they lose Joe Flacco twice. Yeah, I only have him there because of wow, I didn't even put the Chiefs in, did I? I think that was mostly just because I hate them, honestly. Because I feel like one of these teams.
Do I have the Chiefs
You don't
in?
have the Chiefs in either.
Yeah, well, they're 2 and 3. They're not in the top 10.
To me, if you have a losing record, you can't be in the top 10 after a month of football. I think that's fair.
Fuck the Chiefs.
So you, Ryan, you have Bucks at 3 and you have Bucks at 4. If we woulda beat the Bucks, would we be like in the top 5?
I think I would just straight up swap us.
Yeah.
Cause
I would probably put us at like 5. I don't think I'd put us higher than 5.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I don't know. I would like personally. I would put us over like. I would swap us with like the Colts. Yeah, I guess that. I don't know. They would at least be in the top 5. But had we won the game,
I have the Niners at 7. So like I couldn't. It'd be hard to put them above San Fran.
I just think the Niners are continuing to get so beat up. And they're winning every game by a field goal. Like I don't think it's gonna last. Yeah. And I've been wrong about that before. Like the Chiefs last year, I was like, there's no way they're gonna keep winning these gross games and then go on a run, and they did. But they ultimately got shellacked in the Super Bowl. So they were proven frauds just a little too late.
I feel like the Seahawks is like with Sam Darnold, like we're just gonna be a sneaky team that no one really thinks we're gonna be that like elite.
Which I prefer, actually. I saw NFL.com has us as number 5 right now, and I'm like, whoa, like, I am as biased as it gets, and I'm not putting us at 5 right now. Like,
Yeah.
I prefer when we're a little bit underrated, you know.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I totally forgot about the Chiefs because I was looking at the breakdown of all the teams just clumped together in the league, not by conference.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, okay, these are all the teams with 1 loss. These are all definitely in my top 10. I think there's like 7 of them.
Yeah, I didn't put the Steelers in the top 10, though, because I don't think they're actually that good.
No, and yeah, the Steelers had a bye week too. If you're 3-1, I don't know. 4-1 is a bigger deal to me than being 3-1, and the teams that are 3-1, I don't really buy.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Chiefs being 2-3, like I wasn't even looking at 2-3 teams to put in my top 10, and that's why, because they have 3 losses.
I just also feel like watching the Chiefs this year, it's clear things aren't clicking. I think they'll still make the playoffs, and fortunately for them, the Chargers are blowing their opportunity to like be the division winner so far the last couple of weeks. The Broncos, I thought about putting them in the top 10 because they did just take out the Eagles. But I feel like the Eagles missed so many opportunities to win that game. It was just like more about them collapsing than the Broncos doing anything amazing. But the Broncos do have a good defense, and I think that's going to make them a playoff team this year for sure.
Yeah, the Broncos, they're kind of a weird team.
I'd have them at like 11 if we extended this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's seems like a reasonable spot. But yeah, I mean, what you see is what you get.
It's not any more complicated than that.
Yeah. But hopefully we can beat the Jags on Sunday, and I'm praying we can fucking beat the Tigers on Friday. That would be such a letdown. We are better than them.
Yeah.
We should not lose.
I am praying that we are getting on the mic for our instant reaction on Sunday, just in an elated mood that both Seattle teams won.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you there.
Hopefully we can do it. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you this weekend, hopefully in a positive mood.
Yep. See you on the next one.